my wife's love for me used to be massive, and now the amount of affection she's showing me is starting to plummet down to a very low level. I'm pretty sure her love for me is starting to fade, unless I'm crazy. Damn, bro. That is crazy. You know what else is crazy? You know what's crazy is that Low Taper Fade, like, meme is, dude, it is still massive. It's called a
I'm only going to record this once. This doesn't have a script. Just a feeling behind it. Low Taper Fade by Ninja might have been one of the greatest things to happen to anyone. Now, Ninja Low Taper Fade, it's taken a lot of forms. You've seen the meme. It's massive. You've probably seen it on posts and everything, but there also was a game made on Roblox. Basically, you wait in the line for a Low Taper Fade, and it's riveting stuff. It really is. So the three of us were waiting in line, and we're learning a bit more about the game. You accumulate money, and you're able to skip people in line, and people get very competitive over it. So it's this whole competition. One day, I'm sitting around, and I'm looking at the game, and I join. And usually there's about just shy of maybe 50 people in a lobby, but this lobby, I'm pretty much the only one there. It makes getting a Low Taper Fade that usually takes maybe about 10 minutes or more take like maybe about 2 minutes tops, and that's huge. That means I can keep racking up Low Taper Fades. And I happen to join late at night, so I figure this is like a time thing. If you join late at night, not as many people are connecting, and you can completely just utilize it that way. I tell this to my close friend. His name's Matt. And the two of us start logging in at night. But you realize that there's actually, when you log in at night, there's plenty of people on. Which isn't what I experience. So I then realize that there's multiple servers for this game. So even though you're usually going to be put into the one with like just shy of 50 people, if you go into the server list and you go to the very bottom, you can find games with like 2-3 people. And if you join in and they're not completely just wrecking the game with their advantage, for every Low Taper Fade you get a percentage added to your multiplier, which is associated with the money that you get waiting in line for the Low Taper Fade. This is beginner stuff. You should be noting this down. So if you have 5 Low Taper Fades, you get a base rate when you're waiting in the line per second, but then you also get the plus 5% equivalent to your Low Taper Fades. So if you keep this method going and you got about like 1,000 Low Taper Fades, and it's plus 1,000%, which you're able to then use that money to skip ahead, and you can essentially exploit the system that way, where other people are not able to get their Low Taper Fades. The classism in the Low Taper Fades is a topic for another day. So upon realizing this, I'm able to get myself into a position, and I begin grinding out Low Taper Fades. Sometimes I'd be in the lobby by myself. Sometimes someone would join me, and I would message them, saying truce. Just to say that we're not going to try and battle and skip each other. We're just going to wait our turns respectively for our Low Taper Fades. And sometimes they'd accept, and sometimes they wouldn't, and it would be this whole war. But ultimately, it was okay. Give it some time, and I rack up about 30 Low Taper Fades. And I told this to my friend Matt, but neither of us told it to our other friend, Andrew.
Because fuck that guy.
I'm sitting there, very happy with my Low Taper Fades. And Matt and I decide we're gonna go into the server and have a good time, me with my 33 Low Taper Fades, who's counting, and him with his 11 Low Taper Fades. You know, everyone's gonna get there one day. I hadn't had the voice chat function. It just wasn't there for me. I recently made my account, and it just popped up and said, oh, you can connect your phone number and you can connect to voice chat. And I decide, why not? I'm gonna do that. It might be funny. I might have a good time with my friend. So I connect to voice chat, and I make a mistake. I poke fun at my friend, and maybe I say a cuss word just because it's in my vernacular, you know? And my friend, the one who I told this meta to, the one who I shared my deepest, darkest low taper fade secret, my insider trade secrets. He sees my mistake and he pounces on it. He reports me to Roblox. And not long after that, one mistake, and I'm banned. My low taper fade empire, the one that I did research on, the one that I grinded for, late at night, early in the morning. In this footage, it was 6 a.m. I woke up at I just happened to wake up at 6 a.m. I was in a coughing fit. You could just hear the music playing out loud and me coughing my lungs out. But it was okay because I was grinding for those low taper fades that I could then show off to my friend Matthew. And what does he do? He gets rid of the competition and he gets me banned. Ain't that something? People who you think are your friends are just in it for themselves. And the low taper fade game, it's very cutthroat. So I can't say I was particularly surprised, but I expected more. I was only down for one day. I bet he wished it was more, but that one day really made me reflect and realize that the first one to get to 50 low taper fades, I wasn't gonna give any more secrets, any more generosity. It was gonna be me. I was going to have the most low taper fades, even if it killed me.